welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all having a great day. As you saw in last video, we had to remove the old oil filter head because the threads where the turbo feed line went in were completely stripped out. So I want to show you what the inside of the block looks like with it off. And then I'm also going to talk to you guys about and break down the oil filter head to show you how to rebuild it if you need to rebuild yours, because I noticed there was no videos on YouTube about how to rebuild a filter head on a second gen or replace it even. So we're gonna go over all that in this video. Here's where the oil filter goes, and this is what it looks like with it off the block. Up there is where the coolant is for the motor, and down there is where the oil comes out of and goes into the oil filter and also feeds your turbo. All right, so here's the whole filter head, and I'm gonna break it down now so you guys know exactly what's inside of it. So starting off, this is gonna be your lubricating filter head and your filter head adapter where your oil filter will attach to. And then right here, there's going to be a threaded plug with an O-ring seal on it. Take that out, you're gonna have your pressure spring in there, and also, which is on the back side of here, comes out right there. This is going to be your pressure regulator plunger. And then right here, you're gonna have a pressure relief valve, which inside of there would be a spring, and there would be a little cover on here, and it would be pressurized by the oil. Next, you have your filter head gasket, which goes in between the filter head and your cooler core. And then underneath that, you're gonna have a cooler core gasket, which goes in between the cooler core and the block. Now that I have the pressure regulator valve installed in the filter head, I'm gonna next take the compression spring and the pressure regulator plunger, and I'm going to slip this inside of the plunger, and both of these are going to go inside in the front of the head here, down into that hole. And then next we are going to take the threaded plug and a new O-ring seal, and I'm going to slip this seal over the plug, and then I'm going to put it into the vise here, and I'm going to put some pressure on the spring to thread down the threaded plug. Now that we have the pressure regulator plunger, the compression spring, and the threaded plug installed, and the pressure regulator valve, next I'm going to install the plug back here and the A-end fitting for the turbo feed line here. So next we're going to take the cooler core and the filter head gasket, place it on top of here, line it up, and then we're going to take the oil head gasket and line that up. And then after that we're going to take the oil cooler gasket and we're going to put it on the back side here, on the back side of the cooler core. But first I'm going to clean up any existing gasket that's left on the block now, and then we'll get this new one installed. So one thing I wanted to go over before we got this in the truck was you're gonna have two of these bolts here with nuts on them. They're gonna go second down on the right and all the way down on the right, and that's gonna hold the harness for your alternator. to take the new turbo oil feed line, and the straight end is going to go into the filter head, and the 90-degree elbow is going to go into the top of the turbo. Now that we got the new turbo feed line in, I'm going to now add some more coolant, because if you saw in my last video, I replaced all the coolant lines and removed the coolant heat exchanger. That way we don't have to worry about mixing coolant with oil. And then after that, we'll get the truck fired up. And with that, that's going to be a wrap on today's video. I hope this video helped some of you guys out, or maybe answered some of the questions you might have had if you're running into the same problem that I ran into. If you aren't subscribed already, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if this video helped you out or you enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section, and I'll get back to you. We'll see you next time.